All right, hey guys, I'm hanging out here with an M32 console, and I wanted to talk about the differences between mute groups and DCAs because they can do some of the same function, but they also operate very differently, and they can be useful for different things. So for those of you who maybe don't know, a mute group is a simple button action that mutes a group of channels together. So for instance, I set this mute group 1 up to drums. You'll notice all the drum mutes just lit up when I hit that, and they all go away when I don't. And the cool thing is, like, even if you have a mute group running, you can still go in and unmute a particular channel. That can be really nice if I want groups of instruments muted, but I want to be able to pull one channel at a time into the mix. It can be very useful. Ultimately, though, DCAs can operate the same way, and they're a lot more dynamic. So for instance, I have this drum DCA assigned to all 8 channels, and if I were to mute that DCA, it would effectively mute all of the drum channels, except you'll notice none of the mute buttons are lit up. And that's because they're all sending signal through this DCA, so by this being muted, they're all being muted. I can't individually unmute a channel inside that group when a DCA is muting it. That's one of the disadvantages of muting through a DCA. But one of the things I love about DCAs, I oftentimes don't use the mute buttons on them, but I use them dynamically. If my DCA is set down all the way, then effectively those channels are muted. Now, if I unmute using a mute group, they all instantly spring to life. Whereas if I bring the DCA up slowly, it's like fading in the unmute. Instead of it all instantly appearing, you can fade it in more dynamically and control where that entire group is. So I like that more than mute groups. Of course, you can use each one for whatever works best for your flow.